and using the actual syntax for emotes in vocal and social conversations. Remember Pepe Hands, Pepe Sad, Omega Lol, and Pog, spelled P-O-G, not the other way.
Nobody's... You know the other way? Spell Pog. It's the black people way. You should know this one.
I don't know.
It stands for something.
What you're talking about?
It's what black men call white women. They're Pogs.
Yeah, I've heard that term before.
It's P-A-W-G.
Oh.
Pretty ass white girl. The streamer that created Kick, that's one of the reasons he created Kick, because he had this rant about it that went viral, about our girls were taking over Twitch. And don't fall for it, guys. Resist, stay strong. And he went on this whole like rant about
People, I am the goddamn light. I am the goddamn savior. No more. Say no more to these goddamn using women. I am the leader. From now on, we will not give you money. From now on, we will not sub to you. From now on, we will do nothing unless you prove to us it is not an act.
All right, so got a video by Rob's. Royalty is here. The Rob's Media one we're doing tomorrow. Royalty is here. It's a channel I'm not super familiar with, but instead of going over like all these individual streamers, he's doing Twitch as an entire platform, which is the problem with Twitch. And I'm curious to see if the problem he thinks Twitch has is the same one I think they have. So we're going to watch this real quick, and then we'll jump into some other drama after this. So this is kind of the meat and potatoes of today's stream, though. All right. Over here. You all right?
God, why is it so low?
Because Mike Hale's tall. His head was off camera.
Freaking giant.
Set in it. It was cutting off like from here up on his face, so he had to lower the chair. Where you just slam your black ass down in the chair. Ah, it's so low. All right.
I'm trying not to hit. What's my butt?
I think the headset. Put it behind me. Can you reach it? He put it behind me. I don't know why he put it way over there. I can't reach behind myself.
Oh God.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, I have to do a second cut here. Has anything new happened with the snarker kid you had on? He is still fucking crashing out in my comments, dude. I've been ignoring him. I can't with that kid anymore. I can't. I say kid. That is a grown fucking man.
I was going to say, he's a grown
That is a grown-ass man, dude. That is not a child. That is a grown man acting like that. We did find one that I usually don't cover smaller channels. But this one felt around the same size as me, and I don't know, it just kind of rubbed me wrong. I watched a little bit of it, and then I was like, no, I gotta watch this on stream, and then I turned it off. YouTube fed it to me in the algorithm. You should go watch that one. It's the latest video on my channel. Me and the wife watched it. This girl is a Hassan simp. I don't want to call anybody a snarker because of how mad that guy got when I called him a snarker. I don't know if she's a snarker or not. She's damn sure repeating all the snarker talking points, though. But she is a Hassan simp. Like, when she starts talking about Hassan, that face glows. And, I mean, she comes up with some of the most bullshit cope arguments I had ever heard. And it's a 25-minute video, but I had to pause it so much to keep shooting down shit that she said. I pulled up shit. And YouTube actually proved one of my arguments right that I made in the video. She got to the part about, I will spoil this part for you because it's going to be funny when you watch it. She got to the part about the swastika sword and how it's not a swastika. It's actually a Buddhist symbol. It's different. It's backwards. It's not the same. Yeah, she went through that argument. It's from Bleach. Oh my God, it's not about you, Ethan. Blah blah blah. And I was trying to make a point that flipping the swastika backwards is still close enough that it doesn't matter. that if you put just that symbol backwards on a t-shirt and wore it out into public, no one would see you as a Bleach fan. People would just think you were a neo-Nazi. Like, no one would think that way. That's not normal. You know this is true because none of them would ever just wear that symbol in public. And to prove it, I put it up on the screen. Just that symbol. I Googled the symbol because she said the name of it, and I can't remember what it was. I Googled the symbol, and I pulled up the symbol and showed it on stream, and I was like, put that on a t-shirt. And when I uploaded the video, YouTube flagged the video. I had to blur the not a swastika to put that video up. It's so close to a swastika, even though it's not, that when you show just the symbol without the sword attached to it, YouTube's like, nope, you can't do that. And they made me take that. They fucking restricted my video, and I had to blur it and put it back up. So you'll see that in the video. I go to show it, and I can't fucking show it. I think the only reason that Hassan got away with it is A, he was on Twitch, and the only reason that Ethan got away with it, or damn it, Ethan, iDubbbz got away with it in his video, in his content cop, was because it's on a sword and he's waving it around and in a way that, like, I think it just fools the AI bot, can't pick it up. That's why it's a dog whistle, because it fools the sensors, but the people watching will get the message. That's the idea. If you need another example of an inverted symbol that was adopted by a racist group that fooled the censors and actually got showed on the news and they didn't pick it up, but the people they were trying to signal to got the message. The Proud Boys took the OK symbol.
Maybe you should.
No. This is OK.
Oh, yeah.
But they inverted it and held it upside down. And when you hold it upside down, Proud Boy. Same fucking concept. Okie dokie.
This whole thing about masturbating or something.
What?
You're not allowed to masturbate.
The Proud Boys. Yeah, they're incels. But yeah, okie dokie. Racist. Hold it upside down. Racist. And there were pictures of the Proud Boys shown after January 6th, prior to January 6th, the attack on our Capitol, and then after the attack on the Capitol, where the news, Fox News, CNN, MSNBC, none of those major news outlets caught it at the time. They caught it after January 6th when it got exposed, but before, they didn't catch it. They were showing those images where the Proud Boys are standing there, and they're all holding this down by their leg as just like casually holding that symbol in a way that like most people would notice, and it worked. Everyone who saw it knew who they were because they were signaling to them, but the news didn't catch it. Normal people didn't catch it at the time. It's an OK symbol. It's innocent enough. Wasn't innocent. Now everyone knows what it means. If you do that now, people aren't going to see OK. You do an inverted OK symbol now, people know what it means. Hell, I'd say even if you did the OK symbol now, just like she was like, maybe you should do that. Yeah, most people don't even do that anymore. So, yeah. This is so stupid. Ethan showed the screenshot of the sword on YouTube. I wonder if he got flagged for it on his show. I don't know. I think it depends on, like, I think it was easy for the bot to pick up for me because I showed a picture of just the symbol with a white background. Like, it was just plain text. Here's the inverted swastika. It was the same symbol. It was the hilt of the sword, just that symbol. I think when it's got that much background and stuff around it, maybe the AI bot didn't pick it up, or maybe his channel's big enough that he gets a pass. I don't know. I can't explain that one. But I can tell you for a fact that when I uploaded it, I got flagged. I got flagged, so I know that much.
It seems like it might be too small. I don't know if that's exactly.
I'm a smaller channel. I'm not monetized.
No, I mean the symbol as he's waving it around and whatnot.
Well, he's saying Ethan showed a screenshot of it, so he showed it and he zoomed in on it and he showed it, and I'm like, well, maybe there was still enough background noise on it that the AI bot didn't catch it, or maybe YouTube just gives him a pass because he's such a big channel, he's making them money, and they didn't see it as that big a deal. I'm a small channel. I'm not making them any money. So, you know, I get nothing. I can tell you I got flagged. That's why I had to go back and edit the video and re-upload it. That's why that video is a day late, because I didn't notice the first day I uploaded it that it was flagged. So that's why there's a day with no video on my channel now, because that was the video uploaded. Got home from work, I looked at it, and it was flagged. Didn't go live. So I had to throw that video back into the editor, blur the screen, blur the image. I put text up on the screen to be like, well, video got flagged. So if it's such an innocent symbol, which was the point I was trying to make, if you think that symbol is so recognizable as a bleach symbol and so innocent, then wear it on a t-shirt in public. Show the world, just show that symbol to the world and see how they react. Well, I don't have to wait for her to, yeah, I don't have to wait for her to wear the t-shirt now. YouTube told me what the world would think and told me I can't show it. So like they already proved my point for me in the fucking video. It's wild. But anyway, here's the problem with Twitch. I imagine there's going to be some Hassan stuff in here, but this is more focused on Twitch as a whole and not just Hassan and his group of orbiters. I imagine there's going to be other people here, but I'm curious what he thinks Twitch's problem is overall, and more importantly, if he has a solution. I mean, I think we all know what the solution is, but I want to see the solution that this guy comes to. I'm trying not to stay super focused on Hassan, Ethan, iDubbbz, Hassan, Ethan, over and over on my channel. So this is something kind of adjacent to that, but hopefully he doesn't just focus on that the whole time. Maybe he does. Maybe Hassan is the singular problem on Twitch, and he's spreading like a parasite. But who knows? Let's see. Like a virus. Parasites don't spread. Like a virus. Y'all know what I meant. But forgot. All right, here we go.
So we all know what Twitch is. No, I'm not referring to your body's primitive reaction when you heard the rumor your parents can see your search history from the internet bill. Don't worry, I heard and believed the same lie growing up, but they never did discover that I was looking up Tomb Raider 1996 boobs. But anyway, Twitch...
If your parents are smart, like I am... Oh my god, I forgot I'm a vampire. Fuck. I'm dying. No. Where's my house? Okay. Walked outside and started dying.
You are a shit vampire.
Oh my god, I forgot I'm a vampire and it's daylight.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, hold on. If you have smart parents, like I am, I know my poor kids, they can see what you do, what you download, where you go on the internet. They can keep track of all that stuff. It's way easier now than it was back in the day. I'll give him that. Back in the day, we had like Net Nanny and little programs like that most parents to this day still don't know how to use, despite the fact that they're super easy now. Now, when you buy an Xbox, when you set up a Google phone, when you set up a cell phone, I don't know about Apple, but I can tell you right now, when I set up both my kids' phones, gave them phones for the first time, part of the setup process is it will ask you, is this phone for a child? If you say yes to that, it forces you to go through the parental controls. So I set all those up, restricting them from using certain apps, restricting them from going to certain web pages, etc. If they attempt to go download any app from the App Store, circumvent anything, start the phone up in safe mode or something, try to circumvent anything or go to any websites that I've got labeled as sites they can't go to, it immediately alerts me on my phone. I just get a notification on my phone. Hey, so-and-so is trying to download this app. Do you approve? So-and-so is trying to visit this website. Do you approve? I know, and it gives me a weekly report of everything they've done that week. So I always know what they're doing. When you set up an Xbox, it does the same thing. It asks you, is this a child's account? Set up a Switch, it does the same thing. Like all these devices now, like parents don't really have an excuse anymore. They literally ask you during the setup process, is it for a child, and make you go through the parental controls. And it's a shame they have to do that because parents should just use them and they still won't use them. I remember working at GameStop. Parents would come in and want to buy GTA 5 for their fucking 10-year-old. I'm working the counter and I'm like, all right, well, is this for him? And they'd be like, yeah. I'd be like, I have to read the back of it to you to tell you what's in it. It's my job. And then I turn around and I look at the rating. I'm like, this game contains strong language, drug use, alcohol use, strong sexual content. Like, I'm reading out all the stuff that's in the game, and the woman's getting embarrassed behind the counter, and she's like, hey, yeah, it's fine. I'm like, ma'am, I have to read the whole thing. It's my job. And then ask you at the end, are you sure you want to buy this for him? And then they'll say yes. I fucking give it to him. And like clockwork, 2 or 3 days later, that parent is back trying to return the game and complaining about the stuff that their kid was doing in the game. And I'm assistant manager there going, do you remember when I sold that to you? I read to you what was on the back of it. I told you what was in that game and you said it was fine. Do you remember that? No. Yes, you do. No. Yes. No. Yeah, and then they play dumb and I got to go through that. Yeah, like, parents have to actively try to be bad parents now, and it blows my mind the number of them that will.
Which, if you don't know, is a live streaming platform that has existed since 2007, when it was...
I was so annoyed because I was 13 when GTA 5 came out, and they let me pre-order the game, but not pick it up. I had to get my dad to pick up the game that I already ordered. Yeah, they shouldn't have let you pre-order it, but... yeah, I mean, I guess they're fine to take your money as long as your parent can come back. But yeah, they can't give you the game without a parent. It just always annoyed the hell out of me that parents would be told what's in it and told how bad it is, and then still want to go and... They would be told how bad it is and then still buy the game for their kid and then act surprised when the bad thing I told them would happen happened. Just blows my mind. Anyway, Twitch started as Justin TV in 2007, which was a gaming website. How far we've come.
It was originally named Justin.tv.
Justin from Justin.tv. With Justin TV, you can watch, broadcast, and share live video and chat with other viewers.
But then quickly turned into a place where people would stream things like anime and other shows like 2005's Hell's Kitchen. Those were the...
Yeah, no one talks about that. That is when Hassan got his biggest fucking boost in viewers. That he would just go on Twitch, because Twitch didn't flag shit the way that YouTube does. There were so many streams that Hassan did just watching Hell's Kitchen.
What?
Yep, just watch parties for Hell's Kitchen. It's not like he's reacting like we are now. That's where the infamous empty chair streams came from, because he would just turn on Hell's Kitchen and just leave it on for the entirety of his stream, not talk for large portions of it, or he'd be eaten, or he would just straight up leave the room with an empty chair there.
Hell's Kitchen that bad?
People loved Hell's Kitchen, man. I don't know.
I mean, I've watched a couple of episodes.
Yeah, I mean, he would do it with other shows too, but yeah, Hell's Kitchen was kind of the one where, like, that kind of became the meta for a while. These big streamers would just watch copyrighted shows on Twitch because Twitch wouldn't flag them like YouTube would. And then people would go there to watch the shows for free, not actually watch them. And that's how they built a lot of their following. Yeah.
Days. People were also a lot more openly racist on the platform back then. And Hell's Kitchen would make a return on Twitch in 2018 as a staple for reaction content. But when Justin TV was renamed to Twitch in 2014, around that time it was primarily known for streaming gaming content. I personally remember
it wasn't just primarily known for it, it was required at the time. So back then, like, if you wanted to stream on Twitch, they didn't have a just chatting category. Like, if you wanted to stream on Twitch, you had to be playing a video game. It was required on the site. Like, if you were there to stream a video game. You had to pick your video game and be streaming a video game. Not the case anymore. That's why you have
these girls with this little square where the video game is.
Yeah, they would do the opposite of what we're doing. So the big screen would be their fucking cleavage, and then the little screen in the top corner in the bottom where most people put their webcams would be the gameplay. Yeah. That became a meta for a while, too.
remember watching Maya Night Live back then. God, was that a time to be alive. But in the same year, the platform was bought by the man with a hairline of steel, Jeff Bezos, or Amazon, for $970 million. And things went from there. Twitch got a complete makeover.
I wonder how much of that money Justin got. I feel like Justin sold it. That. Probably not. I'm wondering how much he actually got. Because it went from Justin TV in 2007 when he made it, and then became Twitch in 2014. So I imagine he sold it then.
Yeah.
So how much did Twitch give him as a company? Probably a couple million. I don't imagine it was a lot. And then they ended up selling it to Jeff Bezos and Amazon for almost $1 billion. Gotta see the look on Justin's face when he realized I only got $2 million and I could have got billions. Yep. Fuck. Yeah, just to see the look on his face when he realizes he didn't know what he had.
And it was no longer known as just a niche platform for streaming games. It gradually grew more popular over the years, to the point where in current times, most people don't get the old references from Twitch, like Forcing CD, Forcing Boys, The Two of Wives, Use the Shovel Soda, PVC, Where the F I Am,
Where the f
Shroud has a fat cock.
Word on the street is that you got a fat cock.
Lord rest his soul.
Now it's just the fucking low taper fade meme. It's massive. You guys know what else is massive?
And you know what else is massive?
Yeah, now it's just that. Look, the memes are gonna keep coming. All right, we use current day memes here. I'm old enough to get the old ones. Don't worry about how old I am. It's none of your business. The point is, I'm old enough to get the old ones. But I can keep up with the new ones too. I'm young. I'm hip. You're with it.
You're hip.
I'm hip.
Into what the youth are saying.
Hello, fellow kids.
Hello, fellow youths.
Billy Harrington, and using the actual syntax for emotes in vocal and social conversations. Remember Pepe Hands, Pepe Sad, Omega Lol, and Pog, spelled P-O-G, not the other way. Nobody says any of that anymore. And if you remember a
Do you know the other way?
Mm-mm.
Spell Pog. It's the black people way. You should know this one.
I don't know.
It stands for something.
What you're talking about.
It's what black men call white women. They're Pogs.
Yeah, I've heard that term before.
It's P-A-W-G.
Oh.
Pretty ass white girl. God. Okay, my wife's not as hip and with it as I am, apparently. Sorry, guys.
With the youths.
Yeah. I robbed the cradle. No, I robbed the grave.
What?
Not the cradle. I robbed the grave. I got an old lady over here.
Hey, I'm 6 months older than you.
That's gonna get clipped out of context.
single one of those references, you've probably already started contributing to that 401k, buddy. You old fuck. And if you don't remember them, there's some Minecraft parkour gameplay. I know I have to jingle the keys every now and again just to keep your attention.
Hey, it's Minecraft. I played that game. Okay, you have my attention.
But more people found Twitch. It absolutely exploded in 2020 due to COVID, where people for the first time discovered the beauty of watching streams and maybe even starting their own. And in the present day, you now have a whole host of content and personalities on the platform. You didn't even have to stream games anymore. In fact,
Amaranth has 2 personalities.
most streamers on Twitch don't even touch games. They just react to YouTube slop for a few hours, like police body cam footage.
Oh, you mean like you? Like your slop I'm reacting to right now? Don't knock my content, man. People like slop. I don't do the police body cam footage. But, yeah. Okay. I got principles. That and one of those police body cam footage channels copyright struck my YouTube channel. Even though they don't own the footage either. It's public record. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Won't
get off
into
your
that.
high horse with it.
It's not a high horse. It's just facts.
Fine, get off your soapbox.
But Twitch, like every platform, has its fair share of problems. The doomers wishing their Amazon overlords had never acquired it, and it should go back to just being about games. You've got people that are just in...
I feel like that argument's kind of died out. That people have kind of given up that fight. That was real big during the hot tub meta, during the booby streamer phase of Twitch, and that's kind of died off. But during that, there was just a ton of people pissed off that like these girls have come and taken over Twitch, and this was supposed to be our gaming space, boys. And then they wanted it to go back to just games. Actually, the guy that made Kick, the streamer that created Kick, that's one of the reasons he created Kick, because he had this rant about it that went viral, about our girls were taking over Twitch. And don't fall for it, guys. Resist, stay strong. And he went on this whole like rant about it.
People, I am the goddamn light. I am the goddamn savior. No more. Say no more to these goddamn using women. I am the leader. From now on, we will not give you money. From now on, we will not sub to you. From now on, we will do nothing unless you prove to us it is not an act.
And then he ended up getting banned for that rant, and he just got upset and made his own platform. And now we have Kick, which, by the way, if you guys are watching me on Kick, I get a 95% split with my subs on Kick. So if you're gonna sub the channel, do it on Kick. Just saying.
In general, disgusted by the platform due to some of the content on it, like the supposed streaming boober meta, and the fact the platform is more political than it has ever been, with many expressing Twitch has a bias when it comes to certain Twitch streamers.
Bro, we're never beating the Hassan run.
I knew it. I knew it'd be him. And yes, they absolutely do have a bias. The CEO has openly admitted he's a Hassan fan, and I think he's even a mod in Hassan's chat. I could be wrong on that one. Don't quote me on that one, but I think I remember hearing that somewhere. He may have said it in an interview. I don't know. I can't remember. But I know for certain he said he's a fan.
Runs Twitch allegations after this. This is crazy. Oh my God.
And the Twitch CEO may be a gooner himself, which, you know, fair play.
Maybe he definitely is, and he definitely does play favorites, because I just remembered Hassan is the only streamer on the site to get a company mandated happy birthday song from the company. So the CEO,
excuse me,
the CEO got the staff at the office to sing him happy birthday in a video, and they all look about the way Ruby Tuesday's waiters look when they're forced to sing happy birthday next to a table, where they're like, oh God, I gotta do this. He's the only one who looks happy to be doing it, because he knows that Hassan's gonna react to it on stream, and he can't wait to see it. And he's just, it's super cringe, but that's the only time, to my knowledge,
ass man.
It's the only
Stop fanboying.
Yeah, that's the only time, to my knowledge, that has ever happened, is with Hassan. But sure, they don't have a bias, because his audience screamed that they don't have a bias. And he's definitely a gooner, because when he was showing off the new Twitch app that turns it into TikTok for some reason.
Yeah, it had porn on it, didn't it?
It didn't have porn, because they don't have porn on Twitch.
No,
it looked like porn.
Though, right?
No, he was flipping through the Twitch app.
Oh.
And when you're flipping through the app, it shows you channels you follow. He was logged into his own account to show off the new app, and he's flipping through it like you flip through a TikTok feed, and it's just booby streamer after booby streamer after booby streamer. And people were like, is that on the front page of Twitch? And then they realized he's logged into his account. Oh no, these are the channels he follows. So yeah, he's sitting at home gooning streamers on a platform that he owns, which would technically be the equivalent of your manager at work goon into your Instagram.
This is the guy right here on screen.
Oh, I don't know who this is.
Yeah,
it's him when he's younger.
Recently, you've got suspected viewbotting, which started a whole kerfuffle. But Twitch has a lot of problems. But what else are you going to use to watch live streams? Fucking YouTube? It's probably easier to find the...
Yes! That's where you guys should be watching me right now. I'm about to get monetized over there. YouTube's better. Okay, it's just better. I would die on that hill.
Ark of the Covenant than somebody streaming on YouTube. except from the most obvious people that do stream on YouTube, or maybe Kick, that has the reputation of harbouring all the controversial streamers that are banned on every other platform, or maybe some would prefer the rigor mortis-ridden corpse that is Mixer. And I'm not even going to mention LiveLeak, but I think the first live stream...
I do miss Mixer. Mixer was a superior platform. I don't know why Microsoft shut it down. They definitely could have turned that into something. Rip Mixer. It had a good setup, some of the best streaming quality, the delay was so small, and the best way to interact with your chat of any platform.
Streaming platform to implement semen racing will have my undivided attention. But I've been on Twitch for a while, and today I wanted to talk about the problems and common critiques it faces, and answer the question if the platform truly deserves it.
Thank you so much for the sub. Oh my... Let me put you on the chalkboard.
It's probably the most
I remember that. That was a pretty good meme. I should have done it myself. That was Ninja making fun of the booby streamers, where he got up and stuck his ass out and walked to a chalkboard back behind his chair to write someone's name on it, because that's what they do. And then he pranced back over there and he was like,
back. Yeah.
Thank you. Started pushing his non-existent boobs together. Yeah, that's pretty much booby streaming in a nutshell.
Prominent problem and loudest critique you will hear about Twitch is regarding some of the content on the platform. And by that I mean the content that is mainly within the just chatting or the hot tub section of Twitch, which the latter section was created due to the fact people hated that this was being put on the platform, and people started throwing their shit at Twitch for it, because some of the streamers were taking it a bit too far, so Twitch responded by creating a whole section for it. Some of these people now aren't even streaming in a hot tub pool or anything. Why is there a monkey? But the just chatting and hot tub section of Twitch has somewhat of a negative stigma surrounding it due to these categories being...
Yeah, thankfully that meta's died off and it's mostly become a joke. People do stream monkeys and just nonsense there now as a joke. Alright. Okay.
Used to host suggestive, borderline NSFW content, or as some may say, softcore porn. Many of these being female streamers, and the occasional guys doing this just to make fun of the trend.
Yep. I got a mogul move for you. Ew. Ew. You smell it? Not yet. I'm trying to, though.
But many put these streams and people under one title, which is something you've all probably heard before, which is ethot, which is used to describe things like these female streamers, and is used for people that use their bodies as their primary content to make money or garner attention. But this has been on Twitch for a while, and it's come in many forms over the years. First you had the chalkboard meta.
Thank you so much for the sub. Oh my god.
Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. Oh god, I hate that Ninja beat me to this joke, because I was going to do it on stream. I had the same idea. Good on you, Ninja, I guess. More people would have saw it if he did it anyway. Still though, it's a funny bit.
Hi guys. Yes. Let me put you on the chalkboard.
Then the 90% face cam, 10% gameplay meta, then the body painting meta, then the mirror meta, then the transparent chair meta, and the green screen meta, then just straight up being naked and only showing so much so you don't get banned, and then the hot tub meta. There has been a lot of metas over the years to capitalize on this infinite...
He didn't mention, maybe he'll mention it here in a minute, the like 24-hour period where Twitch just allowed porn or artistic nudity, and yeah, that lasted all of a day. They decided they were going to be progressive and put a clause in there for artistic nudity. It's fine if it's artistic, not sexual content, just artistic. It was porn. People just made porn on Twitch. There was a day of porn on Twitch, a site that has a minimum user age of 13.
Money glitch, many patched over the years due to Twitch's updates to their terms of service, Some rules Twitch had to walk back themselves due to the fact everybody hated them, especially with the artistic nudity rule.
There it is.
I get how body painting would be considered art, but this, I don't know. I wouldn't correlate this with a Matisse painting, but yeah. But this contributed to what many refer to as the just chatting problem, or more prominently known, the ethot epidemic, where most streams in the just chatting or hot tub section are somewhat explicit, suggestive, and some of them do advertise their OnlyFans on there.
Just about all of them. That is the entire purpose of that section. I don't understand how anyone can defend the hot tub section as being anything other than, sexual in nature. Like, hot tubs by design are meant to be sexual. I think the only time in existence where a hot tub was shown in any piece of media and wasn't used as someone getting laid or being something sexual and filled with hot girls was fucking Hot Tub Time Machine. And last I checked, no girls on Twitch have the ability to travel through time. Is there a Stargate in your hot tub?
Now, apart from the obvious problem of a platform that should be safe for kids 13 and up, with this type of content being shown, some without age verification, and being environments where some come to tenderize their meat instead of the conventional websites. But
is he going to mention how a lot of the girls that filled the just chatting section were literal porn stars who found a new audience that they could advertise to? That's why they were there. They were actual porn stars who were like, oh, so I can just stream on here to advertise my stuff for free? Okay. I'm wondering if he'll mention that, like, at all. Because they were actual just porn stars. Yeah. That had thought they'd found the cheat code. I can get on Twitch and stream without getting naked and advertise my naked stuff indirectly. Yeah. Because it got filled with actual porn stars.
This would also create a negative stigma for female streamers in general.
So they could
do
PG-13
got lumped in with these
porn.
types of streamers where some assume all female streamers are like this. Or heaven forbid there is a centimetre of cleavage on screen, and they obviously must be doing this intentionally. And unfortunately this has contributed to a lot of harassment some females face on the platform. Now, do I personally have...
Yep, that's usually how it goes. Stereotypes exist for a reason, and stereotypes ruin it for everybody. Because everybody's not a stereotype, but when the majority are, that's just human nature. We're gonna group things together and associate. If growing up as a child you got bit by 2 out of 3 dogs you came into contact with, you're gonna hesitate to touch any dog. It doesn't matter how nice the owner tells you it is. You're just it's a natural reaction that you're gonna associate the dog with the bad. You're gonna remember the bad thing more than the good thing. So even if you only got bit by 1 dog and then the next 4 dogs you come into are nice, you're still gonna be hesitant. It's just gonna be a natural reaction to being in proximity to a dog because you had a bad experience.
Have a problem with these streams where they are intentionally doing this type of content, fully well knowing what they are doing with the purpose of monetary gain. Well, I don't think I've ever had interest in watching these types of live streams, which for the most part is borderline just softcore porn for 4 hours.
It is. I would pop into them when I saw something crazy in a thumbnail just to check in and see what's going on, and I did not get it. I mean, it was fun to laugh at, but I honestly didn't get it. I think I would click on an Amaranth stream and she'd have like a horse mask on, like a rubber horse mask, and then be in a bikini, and it was the weirdest shit. Or like one time she was in her hot tub. It's an inflatable pool in her fucking living room. All right, it's not a hot tub. Let's just be clear on what a hot tub is. But she'd be in her hot tub riding a giant inflatable banana. Just with a cowboy hat on. I was like, okay, how is this not just softcore porn? Like I would just laugh at how ridiculous it was, because people would tell me, no, they're just girls trying to stream. It's they just want to stream like everybody else. There's nothing sexual about it. They're just hanging out in there.
Where are you going to ride on your banana?
Yeah. And they're trying to tell me that nothing crazy's going on in there. It's just girls in a hot tub talking. That's how they want to chat. That's how they're comfortable. No, shut the fuck up. This bitch is riding a giant inflatable banana. Your argument is invalid. Okay, you can't convince me that that's just how she spends her evenings, even when the camera's off. I don't believe it. It's not possible. God, the cope was just so real, dude.
Can just go to another website which specializes in this type of content, see the whole Dark Souls naked run, and after 2 minutes wallow in self-pity. But hey, some people are there for the personality, and to simulate what it's like to be a cook if they actually had a girlfriend.
Yes. A lot of people were in Amaranth streams to look at both our personalities. That's right, they're there for the personality. Jesus Christ. The fucking cope, dude. Oh man, he's bringing up all these old arguments that I used to get into on the platform before I did YouTube content, which I should have been doing then because it would have made for great content. But anyway, moving on.
Maybe it's something to do with edging, I guess, or maybe just like female attention, whatever reason, I don't relate to it. A lot of the people viewing anyway are from countries where porn is banned, like Turkey, and Twitch is the only way they can have access to it. But there's 3 takes people commonly...
Or they're minors whose parents do have parental controls on, and Twitch skirts the parental controls because it's rated for 13 and up. That's I would argue that's the bigger problem. I mean, people in countries where porn is banned watching Twitch, I mean, that's whatever. You can at least say they're still adults. But the children one, like, there's really no defense for.
...commonly have going against this type of content. One, they blame the streamer themselves, commonly saying they shouldn't be doing this type of content on this platform, and they take advantage of people that are lonely and desperate for monetary gain. 2, they blame the people that are supporting them and actively gooning to their streams, which I think no pep talk in the world will persuade them not to do this, and you're probably going to have to persuade the final boss that is the Twitch CEO himself as well.
Yeah, there he is, showing off the Twitch app, and then you get to see how quickly he tried to get past all the Gooner stuff, and it just got worse. The more he swiped, the more he tried to get past it, the more Gooner stuff popped up on his screen. Oh my god.
And 3, blame the platform for hosting this type of content and not taking action against it. I personally side with the 3rd point, to be honest. Yes, the streamers...
Yes, it is the platform's fault. I don't blame the streamers. I mean, if they're allowed to get away with it, let them get away with it. I mean, what else are you going to do? Like, I mean, I can't blame them for following the rules set before them. This is 100% on Twitch.
Streamers know what they are doing. Some are constantly trying to push the line till they eventually break the terms of service of Twitch, in which Twitch will probably respond by adding a new rule, and to say no, you cannot deploy something equivalent to a periscope just so your viewers can see your ass. And I think at most times they only get a day to a week ban. Many people...
Yeah, they get a slap on the wrist so that Twitch can, like, get those headlines, because those headlines always pop up. So-and-so streamer got banned for this, but they never say how long they were banned. So Twitch ends up looking good, like they're actually doing their job, and everybody goes, yeah, they got banned, see, action was taken. And then a day later, they're back, and their audience is bigger because they get to do the big return stream and talk about it. And they got all that free press from people in the, you know, from all the media outlets that covered it. It's a joke. It's a fucking joke.
People do defend these types of streams, saying you must be gay if you don't like this, or you must hate women. No, I just don't expect this type of content on a platform that used to be just for gaming. And once again, the age rating is 13+. Like Jackmate, I would expect this, but not Twitch. But if
yeah, all the arguments are fair against it. I remember having these arguments and getting the same level of cope from those ethos that you get from the people defending iDubbbz and Denims and Hassan against Ethan, or people are defending Nintendo charging $80 for games. Like people running these defenses for stuff that they like, even though they're so clearly in the wrong.
There's nothing being done about these streams except the occasional ban for a day or two, and some people in the category are brute forcing the Twitch TOS to see what they can get away with, which then other streamers will copy, and then that'll be the meta for the next season. I'm pretty sure it's a platform problem at that point. I mean, the streamer Mogpie that has set the meta for many of these streamers got banned multiple times in the year of 2023, some within the same week, and only got a 2-day ban at most. There did used to be a rule where if you got banned multiple times in the same year, you just get perma-banned off the platform. But to be fair, that obviously doesn't exist anymore. because some of these streamers have been banned.
Yeah, I've been banned for longer. Like, I did less and then got banned for longer. Like, I don't think I've ever received a 1-day ban. Like, if I've accidentally shown something on stream or said a word that they didn't like, I've always gotten at least 7 days. One girl had, like, straight up sex on stream. She forgot to turn her camera off, and I think she got a 1-day ban. Like, the favoritism is unreal and blatantly obvious.
Numerous times in the same year. Yeah, you can blame the gooners, but they're never going to stop. You can blame the streamers taking advantage of a money glitch that has yet to be patched or will ever get patched. But at that point, I personally think you should be hating the game, not the player. Because what are you going to do? Call them a whore? And then hope they instantly turn to Christianity? And then become a celibate or something? But to their credit, at least some of them do age gate their streams, which is like a band-aid approach, but the platform itself is enabling.
Yeah, the age gate doesn't do anything because Twitch doesn't require any kind of verification. All it does is blur the thumbnail. And then when you click on the stream, it says, this is for 18 plus, are you sure? And any 13-year-old's going to go, yeah, I'm sure. All that does is actually advertise their stream more because it makes the kids want to see it more because they think they're going to see the racier stuff on this stream. So I would argue that age gating it actually makes it a little bit worse with the way that Twitch handles the age gating. It just drives more kids to that content as opposed to away from it.
This with poor punishment and not enforcing rules to counter this type of content. But another thing Twitch does get a bad rep for is its moderation itself.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
So another common
or lack thereof
critique of Twitch is that the moderation, or in other words, the actual staff of Twitch that oversee the platform and are usually involved in tasks like banning or removing users or streamers that go against the terms of service of the platform. And they do this to keep the platform a somewhat safe place. But they do get a lot of shit, especially recently, due to the fact that many claim and believe that Twitch staff are biased to certain streamers, and when it comes to following their own rules and being fair, they are rather inconsistent. But does Twitch deserve this criticism?
Very inconsistent, and yes, they absolutely deserve it. They don't just deserve it, it's blatantly obvious. They deserve actual punishment for it because they just clearly think they can get away with it and don't care. They do nothing to hide it.
Or is it just completely unfounded? Well, the fact I'm fucking talking about it means there's some contention to that point, you dumbass. Whilst Twitch does not publicly talk about their banning decisions, and there has been one recorded event of a Twitch staff getting involved for their own benefit, I can see why people think there is a bias based on reoccurring patterns, like the inconsistency with bans. Some people like to use the example recently that occurred with the streamer Extra Emily, whose content is similar to that of an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Okay. Yes?
That's how she was cooking crack. Oh, that's great.
Oh, I'm cooking steak.
But pretty entertaining. But a lot of streamers get in trouble for streaming whilst driving, mainly due to the fact they look at their phone.
That was also Extra Emily, and she ran a red light while doing it, and it was hilarious. But, yeah.
Whilst driving, to look at their chat, which is obviously dangerous. But Extra Emily didn't even do that. She was messing with her camera whilst driving, and flips the camera at the exact time she runs a red light, and basically self-reports herself. But obviously this was dangerous and against the law, potentially shows she was distracted whilst driving.
And what was her punishment for this?
And then after it happens, she gives the excuse that this happens all the time, and that these lights take a while to turn or something.
That happens all the time. In Austin, you know, like, the stoplights here are really long.
But as a result of this, she only received a 1-day ban. And then to her credit, when she returned, turned her next stream into a learning experience where she completed a driving school. But she did get banned for looking at her phone in 2023 for 3 days, but for this time only a day. But after the latest ban, people were quick to point out the ban should have been much longer. Even people like Stable Ronaldo voicing their...
Yeah, repeat offenders should get longer consequences so that they don't offend again.
their opinion, someone who had been banned for reckless driving 10 months prior for 3 days after going over a speed bump too fast to the point where the car lifted up in the air. And he thought she should have been banned for the same amount of time he was.
Said, I'm running this red light, but when I hit a pothole going the speed limit... I hit a pothole, by the way, chat, I hit a pothole with adapt, going the speed limit. It wasn't even a pothole, it was a speed bump. So my car went like this. And then all of a sudden, I'm banned for a week.
This is the dumbest shit I've ever seen. She deserves to get banned for over a fucking month.
This and other instances, like when Pokimane pulled up the hub by accident live on stream.
Wait, we saw this, right?
And only got a warning for it, compared to when Foursome pulled up a gif of the famous horse, also by accident but got banned for a whole month, which has led to a lot of people believing.
Yeah, the guys get harsher bans for less.
That Twitch are more lenient when it comes to female streamers more than their male counterparts. The main comment being Twitch staff are simps, which at this point this argument has been occurring for like 5 years now, due to Twitch's confusing banning process, where ban durations seem to differ for the same rule being broken. And they also bring up the point I discussed earlier, where some streamers in the just chatting section only get banned for a day for sexually explicit content, and some banned multiple times within the same week.
Yeah, so he's talking about the one, like, she had sex with her boyfriend in front of the computer she streams at, and I guess didn't realize the stream was still on. Didn't realize. I'm still convinced she did that on purpose because she knew it would get her views, and gave herself plausible deniability. And she got a 1-day ban for it, and of course she went viral, and it got her a big following. Yeah, I do think a lot of these are calculated moves. These girls know what they're doing. But, whatever.
But once again, there is no concrete evidence Twitch has a bias towards gender, due to the fact they do not advertise information regarding bans. Or
I would argue that just their ban history is concrete evidence, the stuff you've already shown, but I guess you're right, there is nothing in writing. God, that's such an autistic point, though. Like, to me, it's obvious. Like, I think it's so obvious that you could just go through their history, their pattern of behavior, and it should become obvious that, oh yeah, they definitely have a bias. Like it would just be obvious to anyone who looks at their ban list. But I guess since they don't publish their bans, we're going off the words of the streamers, and the platform itself can be like, actually, we banned him for longer, or whatever, I don't know.
Or the banning process. But there are past events that have showed Twitch staff have involved themselves personally in the streaming environment and have even offered advantages to some streamers. A key example being Hassan. Not the Hassan you're thinking of, but he was a former member of the Twitch team and was the director of strategic partnerships. But in 2020...
Huh. Didn't realize there was a second Hassan. And that this one was actually employed by Twitch. Yeah, I'm learning something new here. Good job. Good video.
It came out that he had been accused of sexual misconduct and abuse of power. Launched by the streamer VO, and then later other female streamers who expressed the same situation with the same staff member, it was claimed that he leveraged his role at Twitch, where he would promise things like perks and promotional items in return for sexual favors. Sexual favors he would still conduct even when the other party was saying no. He also
I don't want to stereotype, I know we were talking about those earlier, but I'm starting to think like you shouldn't trust anybody named Hassan at this point. Jesus.
Shared explicit images to other people without consent and disclosed confidential Twitch information, in which an internal investigation by Twitch was launched, and he was subsequently removed from his role, but he faced no legal repercussions. Obviously not all Twitch staff are like this. This is a single person, but at the time this event was used as a main point that Twitch staff do get personally involved and do have a bias when they're
yeah, you've definitely established a history of it, that's for sure.
Supposed to be the complete opposite. But another point that people use that Twitch staff are biased is within the political sphere of Twitch. Yes, over the years, politics on the Twitch platform has grown significantly. It's not hard to find most streamers nowadays sticking their wrinkly, depraved toe.
Did y'all see their thumbnails? There's a streamer on there reacting to Ab and Preach.
into the political pool to give their opinion on the state of politics, in which I promptly click off the stream because it's not bedtime yet, and as I've said before, explaining politics to me is like giving me a lethal dose of NyQuil. But to some people's dismay, politics has been thriving on the Twitch platform for a while now. You have Hassan, previously Destiny, everyone's favourite cockroach king Asmongold.
I think Destiny should have been listed first. I'm not a fan of the guy, but I mean, credit where credit's due. He's definitely the one responsible for the entire Twitch politics category being created. He is the father of politics on Twitch. That's just true. Hassan came from his community. Vosh came from his community, and I think a few others. Yeah, like he was the first one to make it big, so big they created a category for it, and then everyone else kind of branched off him, and then they banned him because they didn't like him, and I guess I can see why. He is kind of a sex pest, and by kind of I mean definitely is. But I mean he's a smart guy, but my God, is he like Gooner level 9,000, man.
Asmongold, where some people are no longer interested in WoW gameplay and just want him to talk about politics. And you also have...
That's most of his fans now. That's just the truth. Like, we've gone from people screaming that they want Twitch to go back to just games during the Gooner era, to now we're at a point where the only popular streamers who make it big on Twitch are going to be the ones who don't do video games. And when they do, they're asked to stop and go do politics or whatever thing that they've pivoted towards. Because Asmongold was already popular enough, but like you look at his growth numbers when he started doing politics and not just WoW stuff, and it's night and day, dude. Like he exploded when he started reacting to Trump shit.
Streamers like... Yeah, I don't know that many political streamers. I'm only here for the gameplay and slop reaction, but especially recently politics has started...
That's me! I'm do both at once! I'm his demographic!
A fiery war on the platform, and believe me, you cannot escape it. It is everywhere, and has lasted almost a year now. It's basically a blood gulch skirmish at this point. You have Hassan versus H3 versus iDubbbz for some reason, versus Asmongold versus...
I knew we couldn't avoid that. Well, yeah, and then he's gonna bring up the usual crowd. I knew it would center around them eventually. Well, we avoided the H3 Hassan drama for a while anyway. Here we are. Lock back in, boys.
Hassan's friends or something versus Twitch itself. But basically, everyone is throwing their shit at everyone, and some people believe Twitch has had a big hand in it, and as a result has led to their own YouTube adpocalypse of sorts. But what is this whole drama about? I don't fucking know. Wrong channel. I'm a political infant at this point. I'm probably going to load up Rust to learn my 3x3 has been fucking raided after this. But why is Twitch being brought up in this situation? Well, once again, they were accused of being biased towards other streamers based on their political beliefs. And again, their banning system being very inconsistent. People thought that the Twitch staff had a bias towards streamers like Hassan, who on stream said killing one US senator would solve a problem.
Cared about Medicare fraud or Medicaid fraud, you would kill Rick Scott. Okay? You wouldn't make Rick Scott, former governor of Florida Rick Scott,
in a video game. Ah, see, it's okay because I said the last part. Wait, does he even do that here?
And people were outraged he only received a day ban for...
Alright, I guess not. Wow, it was just a straight up death threat. Unless he said it after, and then that's when Hassan can scream, flip out of context! Yeah, the context was clear, dude. Saying in a video game at the end fools no one.
For this, and people...
It's the political or the Twitch equivalent of asking for a friend, officer.
People think for what he has done, he should have been banned longer, due to the fact other streamers get banned a lot longer for things others view as less significant as this. Many using VTubers getting banned for like 2 weeks as an example. And some people use the fact that the Twitch team and CEO have publicly wished...
There's the birthday video!
...Hassan a personal happy birthday. And it's uncommon for them to do this, so people use...
Uncommon? They've literally never done it for any other streamer. It's not just uncommon, it's pretty blatant that that's special treatment.
This as evidence that they must have a bias towards Hassan himself or certain political beliefs.
Why are you dancing around saying it? Just say it. Just say the thing. Just say what's obvious. I mean, you keep pointing at it and then going, some people say, as if you don't agree with it. Do you not agree with it? Royalty is here. Just admit it. The bias is obvious. Just take a position, man.
To you.
What the fuck?
Happy birthday to you.
The most rabid Redditors just clipped this, and they're gonna use this permanently to be like, see, I told you, he's got banning powers.
And they weren't wrong. You probably do. Yeah, they're right. They just made it obvious.
Gold going as far to say the team is compromised after things like another streamer, who seemingly has the same political takes Hassan does, never got banned for essentially putting a 30k bounty on Asmon's head. But some do see this as a joke.
30k to anyone who'll make this dipshit disappear and make Eve's breasts bigger. Okay, you have to do both.
Twitch's moderation and Twitch's team, I think, is compromised. I think that they're biased, and I think that they don't have any principles at all other than responding to controversies.
But Twitch moderation obviously has a problem with consistency, and I think the criticism they receive, especially regarding their banning process, is completely valid. I think people that break their terms of service should be banned promptly, fairly, and given a duration in accordance with the weight of what they have done. The banning process, all in all, doesn't make any sense. Some streamers get banned for longer when they did something on the same level or even less serious than the other streamer, so of course people are going to think Twitch has a bias, or just an extremely incompetent staff team. So the last problem I wanted to talk about is viewbotting. And if you don't know what that is, it is basically fake viewers, mainly used to inflate the views on a Twitch stream. Many other platforms face the same issue. I think even Kick had a problem with it, but all you had to do was...
Kick still has a problem with it, and has a problem with bots in general, which are kind of starting to infest YouTube and Twitch at this point.
Open the stream on multiple tabs.
I will be shocked if we don't get one before the end of this video or this stream, guys. It'll show up in chat. Hey, found your stream. I like you, streamer. Please hit me up on Discord or join my Discord to learn how to gain 1,000 followers or make 1,000... Yeah, it's the same shit. They always try to funnel you into a Discord.
And each tab would count as a viewer. But you can pay certain websites to increase your viewership or someone else's, so it makes it look like you have more viewers than you actually do. Now, viewbotting, like many of the other topics I've talked about...
Yeah, we caught one. There's a video on my channel where we caught a Twitch streamer doing it. Not a Twitch streamer, a fucking Kick streamer doing it. Where he's supposedly got hundreds of viewers and like one person in chat actually talking to him. Like it was blatantly obvious he was botting. Only 1 or 2 people in chat are talking. Like his chat was as active as a 10 viewer chat. But he supposedly had like almost 1,000 viewers. Like he had hundreds of viewers. Like it was blatantly obvious that, yeah, this guy is botting.
About in this video is hard to prove. Probably the only way to get 100% concrete evidence somebody is viewbotting is either if they admit to it, or the provider of the bots shows they were bought and told to target said streams. But there are other things people look at to see if people are viewbotting. Mainly they look at viewer engagement. Mainly if somebody has 50,000 people watching them and the chat is moving like a snail with arthritis.
Which is what happened with the guy on Kick. He had hundreds, not 50,000. But yeah, I would argue even if you have hundreds of people watching and only 2 people in chat are talking, there is no way. There is no way. Even Gooner streams don't have that. Like even the Ethot streams don't have that. Like they'll have people actually chatting, even though the majority of their chat is probably typing with one hand. Still.
Either most of the viewers are like Helen Keller, or they may be under suspicion they are using bots, because most bots do not interact with the stream like a normal chatter would. Now, why is viewbotting bad on the Twitch platform? Well, it can be used against streamers. For example, if you apply to be a partner on Twitch, and you finally hit the required viewers, if Twitch thinks some of those are bots, they will deny your partner application, and in some cases even ban you. So it can be potentially used to remove somebody off the platform. Bots can also be used for things like hate raids, going into someone's Twitch chat and spamming messages or racial slurs. I think even recently a Twitch game show had to switch Twitch channels due to the fact their stream was being inflated with view bots, which you would think is a good thing. I personally would spam the add button and hope the view bots don't have ad block, but they basically had around 100,000 viewers and the chat was basically comatose. So
yeah, I mean, would that even work though, spamming the add button like that? I mean, it depends on how the bots are done, I guess. If they're just like a script, then no, but if they are just like a bunch of tabs open, so they're actually technically legitimate viewers, yeah, that might would work. That might would actually get you some ad money. Yeah, I'd be spamming the fuck out of that button too.
To prevent allegations of viewbotting themselves and potentially getting banned, they switched the channel. And you've also had streamers accusing other streamers of viewbotting, specifically the top echelons of Twitch, where XQC was accusing Kai Cenat's associates of viewbotting due to the fact they had a high viewer count but low subscribers and low viewer engagement, and most of the people watching were not logged in, and this caused a bunch of drama and commotion because it is a serious accusation.
The only way that that could be described is maybe it's maybe it's embeds. Like he's got the stream embedded somewhere else, so a bunch of people are watching, but they're not. They're watching because it's on a webpage. What website was it that did that with their Twitch stream to inflate their numbers? So they weren't technically viewbotting, but they were fake viewers because they ran a website that, I think it was Fextra Life or something like that. Like they ran a really popular game and wiki website, and then they embedded their fucking Twitch stream on every single article on that website. So people come in there to look up video game stuff like builds for Diablo or something. This Twitch stream is just automatically playing somewhere on the site and they don't realize it. So people weren't actually watching the stream, but their numbers were going up as people were just constantly using their site in order, because their site gets like millions of views a month or so. So they're just getting like hundreds of thousands of views a day as people go there to just look up game guides. And they didn't even realize they were being counted as a Twitch viewer when they went there.
And if in some way it is proven to be true, your streaming career might be over. Nobody is going to let you live that down. But obviously, once again, it's very hard to prove, and some of the viewers may have not just been logged in or sourced from external websites through things like embedded streams, which are very annoying back in the day, especially when I was trying to...
Yeah, so maybe he's going to bring up the Fextra Life thing here. All right, I'll quit Paul's Andying, guys. I'll let him talk.
Find a Warwick jungle build and somebody's stream just pops up on the bottom left, which just because you're on that website does count to them as a viewer and was previously used to inflate people's viewership. But what can Twitch do about this as a platform? Well, they have been legally taking down bot provider websites, which are very easy to find apparently and not cheap, but they also purge accounts which are suspected to be bots. But it is a problem that is very hard to counter, and it can seriously affect streamers on the platform.
Gee, that wasn't so awful.
So in conclusion, Twitch does have a lot of problems. Some of its content doesn't match the environment Twitch is said to have, and its banning system leaves a lot to be desired. I do think they need to start explaining in detail why they have banned someone, and more detail around the process, especially determining the length of the ban. But at the current time, with somewhat of an arbitrary banning system, it has rightfully led to a lot of criticism, and Twitch does have a viewbotting problem that can be used to target streamers and inflate numbers for others, but I think Twitch is doing the best they can to counter that problem.
I believe they're doing the best they can to counter the bot problem in anyway. The other problems, I'd argue not so much. I'd argue that the other problems are of their own making. You know, the moderation problems, the hot tub problem, etc. That they lean into some of them and just allow them. But the bot problem is definitely one that they don't want, because the bot problem doesn't make them any money. They don't get any money for the bots, but they do get money for these, these streamers attracting real viewers.
Twitch is still a good platform. It has changed from its original design, but it still hosts a lot of entertaining people and innovative content. I'm probably going to go learn my base has been code locked now, but yeah, that's all I wanted to say, and bye-bye.
Let's go! Okay, well, no, don't want that. God damn, YouTube autoplay just immediately jumps into another video. God damn, dude. Alright, so that's the problem with Twitch. It wasn't as focused on Hassan as I thought it would be. But yeah, the moderation problem is definitely like centered around Hassan because he's the most blatant example of that problem, of the fact that special treatment happens. And you can't really argue that Hassan doesn't get special treatment when he's literally the only streamer on the entire platform who got a personalized birthday wish from the Twitch staff. Like, he didn't do anything special to get that. I don't even think he was the biggest streamer at the time when it happened. I think Dr. Disrespect may have even still been on the platform at the time, and he was bigger. Ninja was bigger for a while. Like, there are plenty of streamers who are bigger than Hassan, and there are plenty of times when Hassan wasn't the biggest streamer where he still got special treatment. So I think the special treatment is obvious. I don't know why he danced around it instead of just calling it out blatantly. But that's not the kind of video he was making. He was making the kind of video that just highlighted both sides of a problem, gave you the information, and left it open-ended so you can come to your own conclusion. I think the conclusion is obvious. There is special treatment. They do play favorites, and that platform is compromised.